Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at techtrader.com. It's Tuesday, August the 11th. These are the charts of the day. Well, a pretty nasty day on Wall Street, led by or triggered by the Chinese yuan devaluation. Bottom line is, it wasn't pretty. But yet, when I look at the box of shorts list, it was kind of a mixed picture. The long side was still fairly good if you were in the right sectors. Let's take a look at some strong positions and patterns here. Basically, AAOI, Applied Optical Electronics, been in a beautiful uptrend, and recently has actually broken out in the midst of all this market decline. That tells me the relative strength is very strong. The volume today was a positive. Now it was only up 11 cents, but you can see that near the multi-year highs. I'm expecting a test about 24 short term and 27.5 3/4 secondary target potential. Auto buy tell popping. Now not a lot of volume, but it was up 6% or $1.07. Doesn't trade a lot of volume, but you can see after last week's noted breakaway gap, it's moved up 2 days more in a row. It looks like now that it's through the May multi-year high that we're going to 22 3/4, 23, my next target. ALJ, one of the strongest oil-related stocks, oil and gas refining and marketing. Some of the refiners are doing great. One example is ALJ. You can see how that stock's broken out and has been really solid up here. I'm looking for a move to 24.5 zone. The other, while we're on the subject, Valero, another. Very, very strong. Looks to me like the top of the channel could be in play near the low 80s, so keep an eye on this one. AQXP, the monster of the midway, even though it came all the way off 55 down to today's low of 15, believe it or not, in a day and a half, exploded to 30 after reaching 32 in the morning, pulled back down to 15 and closed at 21. But after hours, traded up to 25.45, only to settle back to 23.20. So net, it's up about 4 points on the day, including after hours, and it may need to back and fill some, but this may yet be higher. But keep an eye on this one. ATEN, well, looking at the pattern here, you can see that the stock popped out of a wedge. We put a swing trade on it, and what I'm looking for is, can it get through the 720 high from mid-June? Today's high was 737, so we did make a nominal new high, but we backed off to 717, up 22 cents. I'm looking for a breakout, and if we get one, and we get a complete gap fill here, which would be somewhere up around 7 3/4, through that we're looking at 9, and then 11.5, 12. I wanted to show you CALL's chart. I like the big downtrend, the base, and now it looks pretty promising to me for a potential move to, now that's taking the declining tops line out. It gapped up today. That gap, even though it didn't close near the upper end of the range, was still up about 10%, and it traded the best volume in about 6 weeks. So I'm looking to see if we can get up near a test of the next resistance level, comes in around the 840.50 range. If we get that, and through that, I'm looking for about 10.5. DSK looks poised to pop after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave run up to 4 3/4. It came down hard, did a fib retracement, and now we're consolidating. If this line holds, and if they take out the 360 range, we should see this test 4 3/4, and then 5 3/4 at least. Maybe we even get this stock on an intermediate basis into the high single digits. Lipocene, a little upset myself for not giving you a swing on it since I saw the run up and the wedge breakout. Even though it didn't punch through and it took a week to get through, it did so today, jumping 24% on 2 million shares. Now, looking at the all-time highs way back in the year, I think the stock is destined for a test of the 19.5, 20 zone short term, and we'll see what happens there. Keep an eye on this one. Novavax with a special day, jumped 270 or 24% in the midst of an ugly market. 31 million shares nearly. That's the biggest volume since last January when it exploded out of the base. To me, although we did tag the top of this rising tops line and it pulled back, watch for support around 13.12, 13.15 if it does pull back. But my targets are 16 and 19 on NVAX. That was put out as a swing. So was SNMX. I love the base pattern. I love the breakout on heavy volume relatively. I like the consolidation that's taking place. Today reversed from 695 to 746, closed only 2 cents off the high, up 33 cents. Looks like it could extend, but let's first wait to see if we can get to 780. If that occurs, I'm looking for a run to 10, followed by 12.5. TTI, like in the case of CALL, is setting up a nice base pattern. This one, however, has already had a strong thrust and backed off of key resistance. Near about the 7.575 zone. The high yesterday was 757. It came down to 642 and reversed to 720. Was up 33 cents or almost 5% today. Volume is solid. If we can get this up past that 760 range or so, we can run this towards 9. And lastly, tonight we showed you Valero. I just wanted to reemphasize how strong some of the oil refiners have been. That's it for tonight, everybody. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good night.